It's not easy spotting narcissistic people, and we have to gather some sort of level of awareness to be able to start actually recognizing them and spotting them. And if you see any of these signs in people, it's wise just to start to take things slow and get to know people for who they actually are and not who they sell themselves to be. Learning to recognize narcissistic people is a crucial life skill, because when we don't, we get our lives torn apart, and then we get blamed as to why not only our lives got destroyed, but as to why they had to do the things they did to us. So one of the first signs that you could be dealing with a narcissistic person is somebody who constantly boasts about their achievements, boasts about their abilities, exaggerates the people they know, lies about the places they've been, lies about or exaggerates the knowledge that they have. And when you question them further, they will either discredit you if you've got actual knowledge in the subject area you're discussing, or they will continue to lie and exaggerate and try to make you feel inadequate in some way. They can also sort of play down their achievements in order to get you to praise them and build them up as a person. There's nothing wrong with being proud of things that you have achieved or sharing your knowledge with other people. When it comes to a narcissistic person, it's a case of they will disregard other people's thoughts, feelings and opinions. They will put everybody else down who doesn't agree with them. They will attack people's personalities and characteristics and motives rather than having a healthy debate on the topic of conversation. They will claim that they are better than all others. They will find a way to humiliate people and shame people. And this is their arrogance. You'll notice with a confident person, because they're confident in their abilities, when someone comes to ask them something, if they know the information, they'll share the information. If they don't know the information, they'll admit to not knowing and say, sorry, I can't help you with that. However, I might know somebody who can. An arrogant person will lie to you, or they'll humiliate you, they'll belittle you, they'll criticize you, they'll mock you for not knowing to make you feel inadequate so that they can feel superior. A complete disregard for other people's thoughts, feelings and opinions, minimalizing other people's concerns, craving that attention and that praise and that recognition. So they can be some of the most helpful people you could ever meet. However, they expect praise. They expect that eternal gratitude. They use the things they do for you or those around you against you. They accuse everyone of not appreciating them, not being there for them, not understanding them. They're seeking that external validation, and you'll notice they either play the victim or the hero in the story they tell you about their lives. They do not take any form of responsibility. They are always looking to shift the blame onto somebody else. And when someone doesn't take responsibility for their behaviour, they're not going to change their behaviour. They're going to lie and manipulate and deceive to get away with their behaviour. They will monopolize conversations. Now, in the beginning, they might want to know all about you, because a narcissistic person will hone in on your vulnerabilities so that they can manipulate these and exploit these and attack these to hurt you and to pull you down. Yet you'll notice if you're having a conversation with them, once they've spoken about what they want to speak about, in that two-way conversation, as you begin to put your thoughts forward, they switch off. They zone out. The lights are on, but nobody's home. They've gone. And that's when we have to recognize as a person that if somebody isn't listening, stop talking. Stop telling them things. Stop informing them things. Because they're only interested in themselves. They're only interested in getting their needs met, which shows they lack the empathy to care about you or those around them. They're interested in having things their way and their way only. A pattern of behaviour such as gaslighting, a complete disregard for rules and regulations. People bend the rules for various reasons. Most people have bent the rules because we are here for survival, not approval. However, with a narcissistic person, they have a complete disregard for all rules, including those that would potentially put another person in harm's way, that would potentially put another person in danger. We have the empathy to sort of recognise that, oh yeah, I get why that rule's in place. Young teenagers, they haven't got the, not all of them, but some of them do not have the emotional intelligence to recognise the potential danger. So it's not a case of they lack empathy, it's a case of they're young, they're having fun, they're exploring, and they're learning from their mistakes. As you get older, you should have the empathy developed to recognise how behaviour could potentially hurt another person, whereas with a narcissist, they lack the empathy to do this. Instead, they go all out ruining special occasions for other people because they can't stand to see other people happy. They can't stand to see other people successful. They're very envious of other people's achievements, be it academic, artistic, athletic. They're very envious of other people's achievements and they strive to pull other people down. They don't want to congratulate people because they're envious of people. They want to sabotage people. They have zero respect for boundaries. They're not interested in other people's boundaries because they lack the empathy to care for another person's thoughts, feelings, or opinions. They're self-entitled. They're looking to get everything their own way. And they have that pattern of gaslighting and manipulating in order to get their own way. Nobody throws a bigger tantrum than a narcissist who's not getting what they want from you or from those around you. They have an inability to accept any form of criticism. We all know criticism isn't nice, it's not fun. And when you've been around a narcissist, you've been mocked and humiliated and shamed and blamed and criticised that much that when people say things to you, you can often think, ooh, how did they mean that? Did they mean, oh, what am I? And you're constantly questioning yourself and second guessing yourself. And as you go through recovery, when someone criticises you, you might fight back. You might think, hang on a minute, how dare you say that to me? I've been through this before. And you might then attack them back and then think, oh, now I'm turning into the narcissistic one. It's all a process of learning our emotions and our reactions and how to respond to other people. However, with a narcissist, because they lack the ability to take personal accountability, any form of criticism they take as a personal attack on them. Narcissistic people perceive themselves to be perfect, or they at least want to sell themselves as perfect for those around them. So they don't want to be called out on any wrongdoings, on any mistakes that they've made. They don't want help because they believe they already know everything and they already know better than you. So they don't need your advice. They don't need your help. Give them constructive feedback and they take offence to this and they tear you to shreds. And then when they realise later on that your idea was good, they come out with it like the idea was their own and you never mentioned it to them in the first place. When you criticise a narcissist, they can react in a very defensive way. They can become argumentative, they can become aggressive, they can become passive aggressive with those silent treatments and sulks. They can throw accusations your way. They're going to go all out to deflect the blame away from themselves. So when somebody has an inability to accept criticism, get to know them for who they are, not who they're selling themselves to be. Because yes, some people might have been brought down that much that they don't know how to react to criticism anymore. Other people are narcissistic people that are going to go all out to bring you crashing down with them. And a lack of genuine interest in other people. Again, it's that the light's on but nobody's home, because they're not interested in other people, they're interested in themselves. If you try sharing some good news with them, they're going to top that news, they're going to do better. And if they haven't done better, they're going to know somebody that has done better to try and make you feel inferior, to get you to compare yourself to others, to create that competition within you, to try and provoke feelings of jealousy within you so that they can feel better about their own envy, because after all, you're envious too. So when you share your good news, they have to outdo you, or they just switch off from you. They won't listen to you. They bring it back onto themselves, not to have a two-way conversation, to monopolize the conversation. Share bad news, they're smug, they're happy, they're pleased. They might even say things like, oh, they might watch the news and see things that are happening that they've experienced, and instead of empathizing with those people, they're just a case of, oh good, now they know what it's like. That's nothing compared to what I had to go through. Share bad news with them and they will continue to talk about how they've suffered far worse than you. Again, not to relate, not to validate, not to try and help and support, but to take the spotlight so that they can gain the attention, they can gain the validation. A lack of patience is another one. Narcissistic people feel entitled to have everything their own way. They're incredibly exploitative. They're arrogant, so they can be incredibly rude. If they lack empathy to care. Yes, they want to see their perceived image intact, which is why they will simply just blame other people rather than recognize their behavior. So they are very impatient people. However, not only are they impatient because they can't relate to other people, they'll be late for you, they'll let you down, they'll keep you waiting because they're superior and almighty, and you should wait for them, and you shouldn't say anything when they turn up late. You should just appreciate that they bothered to turn up at all. So they hit a restaurant without booking, they expect just to be given a table. They're not interested in pre-booking. That was your job, and if you didn't do it, then you're the one that caused all the issues, not them. So they have an incredible lack of patience, yet they are more than willing to let you down. There's lots of different signs to spot a narcissistic person. Any you noticed, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Ms. Bashore. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have 2 books out on Amazon, a Narcissists Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, and 15 rules to deal with narcissistic people if you're unable to go no contact with them. I shall link those into the description also. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.